The digital story showcases students' critique on K-12 curriculum and application of lessons about facilitative learning, learner-centered approach in technology-based delivery methods.
Good morning, everyone! In the last session, I already asked you to read our module in advance. And as scheduled, we are here to conduct an online class. But before that, I prepared here a random name selection for our activity. So when your name appears in the screen, you will be the one to answer my question. You will be given 10 seconds to think of your answer, and after that, spill it. Okay, let's start now. First question. How many levels of formal schooling do we have here in our educational system here in the Philippines? Okay, Sosalie.
Today we have 4 levels of formal schooling, wherein we have the kindergarten, primary education with 6 years, junior high school with 4 years, and senior high school with 2 years. That's all.
Good answer. Okay, next question. What is new in our curriculum? Can you enumerate some? Louise.
With this updated curriculum, we as a student need to experience the 2 years of senior high school.
Yes, correct, Louise. How about you, Kiana?
Yes, ma'am. In addition to what Louise said, in the new curriculum, it was mandated that all children must go through kindergarten before proceeding to grade 1. And one more that I would like to add is that we now have a new subject called Mother Tongue. That would be all.
That's it. Correct answer, Kiana. Okay, let's proceed to the last question. In your own perspective, do you agree in the implementation of our new curriculum? Does the 2 years of senior high school help you transition in college? Okay, Sosalie.
For me, the additional 2 years in high school is an advantage, wherein it makes us ready to enter in our chosen course in college. It's like I am a young student before, and my strength really helps me enhancing and developing my communication and speaking skills that I really use in my teacher education course right now.
Now, let's discuss our topic for today, the levels of schooling in ASEAN countries as a teaching milieu. First, the primary level. Based on what you have read on the screen, here in the Philippines, what consists our primary level? Yes, Sophia.
In the Philippines, the primary level refers to elementary level, and that has 2 sub-levels, which is the primary grades from kinder to grade 4, and the intermediate grades is from grade 5 to grade 6.
You are right, Sophia. So class, based on your idea, what age students can start kindergarten? Yes, Louise.
For me, ma'am, 5 years old, because I think it is beneficial for the child to be in a formal schooling as early as possible.
In my opinion, I believe that the child's readiness to go to school should be considered. Because if we force the child to do something they are not ready for, it will only cause them to feel frustrated. So therefore, we should not force the child to do something that they don't have interest in.
Okay, both of you have a point, but DepEd already requires complying the standard requisite age for preschooler, which is 5 years old, since by 6 years old, the child should be on grade 1. Okay, let's proceed to the next slide. The secondary level. Give me your one honest opinion. What do you dislike about K-12 curriculum?
To be honest, I don't like it, as what I've experienced in our place, where we don't have enough school equipments and classrooms in order to support our needs in learning.
I dislike it because of its law about an Act 2010 that no Filipino child left behind, wherein all Filipino students must graduate on that compulsory age in that specific year. But there are some instances that there are children that doesn't know how to read and have poor performance in the class, but teachers do pass them on so that they can graduate. So it will bring difficulties to the teachers in high school because of that performance of the child.
Okay, I get your point, class. So that's why we need to be an effective and efficient teacher for our students for them to have a quality education. Now, I will present to you a table as it listed the example of different educational levels in ASEAN countries. Lastly, the tertiary level. In summary, basic education levels in most ASEAN countries have 12 years of formal schooling, divided into primary, lower secondary, and upper secondary levels. All primary education levels are compulsory, while in some countries, the secondary levels is voluntary, except the Philippines. Any question, class?
None, ma'am.
Okay, with that, we will have a paired activity. Each one of you will find a partner and come up with a photo collage that showcase a changes of classroom in K-12 curriculum. You will submit this in our Google Classroom as deadline tomorrow. For the next meeting, you will present it in the class. Understood, class?
Okay, ma'am.
That's all for today. Thank you and goodbye. See you next meeting.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
So good day, Filipino! Welcome to your online interview. I am Sheera Senibalo, your host for today. So as we all know, Philippines in the past decades have followed a 10-year basic education system, which resulted in high dropout rates, lack of basic skills and competencies needed at work, lack of readiness to take up on higher education or employment, and discrimination of Filipino graduates working abroad. It's not surprising that with these issues, our former President Benigno Simon Aquino III approved the K-12 curriculum on May 15, 2013. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, the K-12 program. So we invited some young and brilliant scholars to critique and assess our curriculum. So let's welcome our guest for today.
Hello, good day. So yes, K-12 aims at addressing the deficiency of the Philippine educational system, particularly the basic education, the elementary and high school. Also, to meet the standards of international education criteria and for the students to be at par with other students in the neighboring countries. As we can see, K-12 seems to be promising. It is a student-centered curriculum wherein it allows students to interact, explore, and discover. Of course, there are strengths and weaknesses to this new curriculum. Not all are ready for the implementation, but as the future results seems to be promising. But the question here is, will the Filipino people benefit from the K-12 program or not?
That's a very good question, and I agree that it's unavoidable to have its strengths and challenges. So, what do you think the strengths and challenges of this program? So, let's go first to its challenges. So, yes, Miss Chryst.
Well, the DepEd Ed jumps an extra 2 years in secondary instruction to permit students to seek one of these three ways: employment, business enterprise, or higher education. Be that as it may, to a few parents and students, they see this as an extra burden, both physically and financially. Another is, it's a challenge to overhaul the educational program, preparing and sending the instructors at the beginning, guaranteeing the maintainability of the program, and the assembly, the fundamental framework. And third, financial assets are moreover a major issue of the school with the usage of K-12 because we need to improve the physical facilities and instructive assets to actualize the K-12 viably and efficiently. There are challenges that I know in implementing this new curriculum.
That is true, yes. There are also challenges in the integration of lessons within the real life settings. The second one, in need of planning and professional development, wherein the teachers lack information and preparation that they discovered they aren't ready and equipped enough to instruct the students. And the last one, it's the excessive scholarly burden on students. So it means that the students battle to wrap up the past 10 years of educational instructions, and additional 2 years means additional burden for them to complete the scholarly years.
Thank you so much for your great answers, and now I am enlightened of what the challenges that the K-12 is facing. So now, let's assess the bright side of these programs. So, what can you say about it, Miss Thea?
Thank you, Miss Host. The positive side of these are, it is the key to the growth of our country and its citizen as it changes the basic educational curriculum through the government faces much more criticism upon the implementation of this program for several years. It is necessary to ensure the success and increase the quality education and graduates of our nations. Also, there are reasons why we are ought to support K-12 programs. First, it empowers the understudies to have adequate preparing time to carry out subject-related assignments that have made them more prepared in numerous subjects. Second, the understudies of this program are well qualified to enter the workforce. And third, the Filipino graduates are promptly acknowledged as expert overseas, embracing the all-inclusive standards of instruction taken after by all countries. K-12 program standardized the instructive framework of the nation where it enforced the scholarly subjects and arranged students' work as aptitudes were upgraded and created. Besides, this unused framework delivered graduates who are competent, aptitudes, and exceedingly enjoyable. And that's all. Thank you.
Wonderful answer. So, thank you for our lovely and brilliant speakers to making time with us today and for sharing your ideas with us. So, in conclusion of this topic that we discussed, getting this kind of education not only helps your chance of landing to a respectable job, but it also helps develop the skills that the students that need in the future. So thank you for being with us today and see you to our next online interview. Thank you. Goodbye.